Hello Eternum, JChalant, KOTT News here, going where everyone has gone before, at least once before, except this time it's a fresh start here on a as-yet undetermined server. I am here specifically because I want to check out the new stuff. I'm not going to be doing any content with this. I'm just kind of going to cruise around and see what the new quest lines look like. But along the way, I figured that if I found anything different or new that I thought was worth discussing, that I would, you know? So I'm just kind of recording everything along the way here. And if I see anything that works out, then that's what will happen. Where, oh where are the tools? Are they up there? The weapon rack? Because I skipped the intro. There's a weapon rack right over here, right? Wasn't there supposed to be? Or is this, oh, is this giving us the actual fresh start, right? Let's get some supplies real fast. Pretty sure there's a, yeah, a little something to read here. Right Honorable Sir, that's me. Alright, gonna get some flint real fast. Yoink, 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 yoink. Just gonna yoink up all this flint. Because it's not a speed run or anything, but, you know, you gotta... Any bushes? There we go, some bushes back there. I think we got some berries. Oh, I don't have a sickle. This is... This is very early game, so I gotta get all of my goodies first. So let's get some sticks and stones and craft some Bronze Age utensils. Then we'll get some clay from the riverbank and make some bricks overnight. We'll make a charcoal oven overnight. Then the following day after that, we should have enough charcoal, and hopefully we will have searched the river for some iron-infused rocks. Crush them up. We'll do a little job on those, and we'll get some iron tools along the way as we progress through the Bronze Age onward. Alright, so yeah, that was it. The first couple seconds, I'm just gonna get the stuff ready to go. I'm gonna go check out the quests and see if they're really that different. You know, if they are, they are. If they're not, they're not. But, you know, we'll see. Okay? Alright, so I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Hey gang, coming at you live again, JChalant, KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. Just got done with the whole island section start. There was a whole bunch of people that I ran into out there. I hope they come check out the news. Some of the new stuff's kind of nice. Some nice cutscene stuff, and then right down... Oh, I just tried to shoot my fire staff down there, but I don't have one. But there's like a... There's the event that wraps up this section has a nice little cutscene animation now that's quite nice, and I came up here looking for some iron ore, and when I started walking around this way, it's like, look at that, man. Monarch's Bluff. Can you believe it? That thing looks amazing from here now. That's crazy. Alright. Look at that little Stonehenge down there. Was that always there? What's going on? Alright, I'm going to check this stuff out. I'm going to give you more live reports coming soon. Well, gang, I kind of did a little bit more leveling and stuff and getting some questing and things done, and then I got to this part here, and wow, I'm not sure why, but apparently this is the 3rd annual Festival of the Campfire at this particular location. As you can see, wow, there are campfires everywhere. I like putting mine up on the hill too. So that you have the big long stairs. Look at these level 1 campfires. That's what I'm talking about. OG Festival of the Campfire right here, right? Wow, so many campfires. So, whoops. Doink. Hey, ultra close. Let's go over here. So, yeah, all those stairs, it's like a little shanty town on the beach. So, there you go. 3rd annual Festival of the Campfire. Well, I guess this is technically the 2nd annual still. So, welcome all you fresh start refugees to the island on your level 1 campfire. Maybe some level 2s over there. And, I hope you are enjoying your Festival of the Campfire experience. I'm going to keep questing and checking some things out. Oh yes, some of the new level stuff is kind of cool. There's still some samey stuff too, but with the new story here, especially in Monarch's Bluff, with the new structures, the way it's laid out, the advanced civilization, if you will, pretty cool. So I'm digging that there's a little Festival of the Campfire here. People are getting... I like that one up there on the hill. And some people are rocking it old school, but, you know, it is what it is. I guess I could do that too, but I'm not going to. Alright, let me go check this stuff out. Well, you can see, my friends, that I have set fire to this ship, so, you know, fire mage and all that. It's spreading pretty quickly. I'm getting things done here, trying to stave off the corruption. And go see if there's maybe one more thing I want to check out before the end of the night. So apparently this is the place I've got to go to wrap up the storyline here. And I got to say, I don't remember this being here before. I know that the patch that brought in all the new landscape came in a couple weeks ago, and I'm still discovering what has and hasn't changed, but I'm pretty sure I've run along this beach a couple times, just picking up, what's the word I'm looking for, shrines back in the day, and wow, that's a cool looking castle now. A keep, if you will. There's a difference. Alright, I'm gonna talk to, not the redhead, but the other redhead. And we'll see what's up. Hey, Priscilla, care to say a few... Oh, sorry, let me get my microphone out of your face. Care to say a few words about what's going down over here?
Your courage is unquestionable.
Well, you know, I go where the news is.
You're a force to be reckoned with.
What are you buttering me up for?
I look forward to your triumphant return.
So you want me to do it? No problem. That's why I'm here. Investigative reporter JChalant, KOTT News here at the Keep, and I'm going in. Just gonna RP walk through these gates, check things out. Oh, what? They even put in the counterbalances? Dope. I gotta say, shout out. Oh, by the way, shout out to the landscape design who put that rock right there. Boom, way out there in the distance next to the ship there. I forgot to give that shout out on one of my things earlier. Good job. All right, this guy, pardon me, sir. Oh yeah, swords, eh? Ha ha ha, how about one of these? Did you? Oh, wow. All right. One of those right in the face? Oh, wow, you're made of sterner stuff. How about this? Oh, I whiffed. All right. Cool guys don't look at explosion. Oh, I pushed the wrong button and it could have looked so cool. Pillar humping, son. Old school. You don't know nothing about how to MMO. Whoops. Maybe he does. Oh, shite. My cooldowns. Oh, he's doing the thing again. All right, what's his score? So I beat that guy, and I head back to town, and I run into somebody I haven't seen in a while, and we start to talking about the fresh start experience versus the original experience. All right, so I just wrapped up the experience without giving any spoilers. I thought it was pretty cool. I think the new start lets new players become more informed as to what's going on and what your motivation is on the island. I know compared to the first experience for me, that's what I'm feeling. How do you feel about it?
It's good to have a lot more guidance. Before, like, when I'd release, it was pretty complicated. Like, there's big gaps with no quests, and you didn't really have any idea what was going on in the world or why you were doing anything or what you had to do next. But they definitely cleared a lot of it up, and it's getting a lot more people into the game. Pretty happy with it.
Overall, I'd have to say that was a pretty enjoyable leveling experience. Thank you very much, Void Gauntlet person. Oh, you forget something? Gotta go get your stuff. All right, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good leveling experience, and for new players, I think they're really going to enjoy it. As for me, I have some other things I've got to do for now, so I'm off to find the news. Until next time, this has been investigative reporter JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news, and this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night, as you might expect after 2 nights of peace. KOTT news crews were sent on special assignment to investigate the experience of a fresh start, and found it to be a more informing experience. Turning to the weather, and once again the sun returns to shine its beams of radiation down on the surface of Eternum. But the disinfecting power of bright light won't keep corruption invasion forces from surfacing in 30% of the island. 2 submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it is cardboard. Up first, the Covenant forces of Gobbledale assault the Marauders of CB4 for control of the rain-drenched region of Morningdale. Gobbledale forces appear for their second land grab on the island. Last time, they became a great house, but will they return to prominence again? Not if Gusto and the boys have anything to say about it, 'cause they will be there, ready, willing, and able to prove that nobody can roleplay as well as they do. Later, the Marauders of Nothing Personal attack the Covenant forces of Eviction Notice for control of the bear-infested deep forests of Brightwood. Nothing Personal returned to the battlefield for a third time. Sensing a shift in Covenant dynamics, they'll try again to take out the bears in the forest. Eviction Notice make a public declaration that anyone setting up an assault tent in the area surrounding the fort must vacate immediately or be forcibly removed. We'll have the outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. Dynamic change in the history of Eternum last night as the forces of Gobbledale successfully re-secure the rain-drenched region of Morningdale. KOTT News were on the scene and were granted an interview by company leadership. Well, it was over in half the expected time. Would you care to take us through it?
Yeah, we unfortunately not a lot of our company could make it, so we had to have some last-minute fill-ins and everything. But thank you to everybody that came out and helped us. But in the end, we ended up taking it, so felt very good.
Do you feel that your colleagues will be able to make it back and hold the hamlet with the additional restrictions to the rosters?
Yes, we're looking forward to the restrictions. I know that a lot of people are, it seems, but we're kind of gearing up and preparing for it, but looking forward to those changes.
I believe this is the second time you've held this region. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, John. We wanted to bring Gobbledale back to glory here in Morningdale.
Very well. Do you have any intentions for the hamlet now that you're in control? Anything you might be wanting to do with the irrigation systems or in general around the area?
We're going to look to improve the hot tub space. It was very nice for a little while with the cauldron for about the last month or so, but we really love the hot tub in Morningdale and free parties out here as always.
Later in Brightwood, KOTT News crews were on the scene as company leadership debriefed on the steps of City Hall. Following the event, we were granted an audience with company leadership to discuss the outcome and their future plans. I wanted to congratulate you on holding the hamlet of Brightwood against the forces of Nothing Personal. Would you care to tell me about the outcome yourself? It looked like you guys had it well under control, but perhaps you have a different perspective.
From what it looks like from our perspective, we've been getting a lot of really, really good players coming into Eviction Notice. We're going to have to start getting our foundation. We did hold off Brightwood, I think the past 3 or 4 times, and the defenses have been somewhat of a challenge, but almost every single one of them, if not all of them, have not gone into fort. Eviction Notice is currently looking into doing way more than just defending at this time. But other than that, like that last war was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was a good war.
It sounds like you have ambitions to spread across the island. Is there anybody out there who should be on the alert that you might be coming their way?
Ooh, so I'm not gonna sit here and say anything. We have some eyes on a few people. All I want people to know is that Eviction Notice is coming after them. That's all I know. That's all I want to say.
Is there anybody whose efforts out on the battlefield tonight you might want to highlight?
Oh my goodness, there's so many people to highlight on my side. I don't even know how to explain it. Like the community and the company in general is just becoming such an amazing group of people. There's way too many to even like highlight. Zayn and his freaking group with his decks and ripping people apart. We have Hutchie and his kill group. We just recently got Rue, and Rue's doing an amazing job running her 5-man team in our groups. We have Mango and his 5 to 10 stack. We just recently got Tom Hutch, and that guy is probably one of the most insane shot callers I've ever heard. Absolutely love hearing him on point. So if to highlight everybody, I mean that's just meat and potatoes there. You know what I mean?
Care to comment on tonight's outcome in Morningdale as your fellow Covenant forces of Gobblers take that from the Marauders of CB4? How do you feel?
That was good, seeing yellow on the map again. Especially having Morningdale. Morningdale is a hard push, in my opinion. Pushing that is a struggle for a lot of companies because of that long run back and forth. So I'm really happy to see that our brothers and sisters in yellow are taking over and helping out.
Another day, another sunrise that will shine on throughout the day, traveling across the eternum sky. But once again, the night will bring out the worst in the island as invasion forces strike at 30% of the island's coastlines. 2 submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. First up, the Marauders of Highwind Dragoons assail the Covenant forces of Eviction Pending for control of the hardly controllable Restless Shore. Highwind Dragoons return to the battlefield once again, this time shifting their attention away from the harsh desert in the north to the Restless Shore in the east. The forces of Eviction Pending have already given notice that squatting on the beaches around the fort is unacceptable, but will they be able to execute the pending eviction? Later, the Marauders of PvP Dodgers assault the Covenant forces of Here Be Monsters for control of the arid desert region of Brimstone Sands. PvP Dodgers shift their forces from dodging PvP to openly declaring war on their neighbor to the north. But will they be able to expand their empire? The desert-dwelling nomads of Here Be Monsters stand ready to defend their keep, as well as the bountiful riches to be found buried throughout the sands. Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night as both Covenant companies turn away the Marauders and retain control of their respective regions. KOTT News crews caught up with Eviction Pending leadership after their execution of their most recent eviction. Congratulations, my friend, on successfully holding the Restless Shore yet again. Care to comment on how it went out there tonight?
Yeah, John. Big shout out to Tezki. KOTT called it for us, and big shout out to Most Wanted. I had them with me, and we were farming.
Are you going to be involved in any of the 5 fights tomorrow night?
To be determined, John. To be determined.
All right, before I let you go, is there anything going on out here in Restless Shore you want the citizens of Eternum to know about?
Gonna be some evictions going on, John.
KOTT News were on the scene in Brimstone Sands and caught up with a company representative to get their reactions. Congratulations on your victory out here in the deserts of Brimstone, once again securing your position in the desert sands. How do you feel it went out there?
I feel like it went great. We kept them at point phase, which is always awesome, but shout out to PvP Dodgers for bringing the competition and keeping the server alive.
Is there anybody whose efforts out there tonight you might want to highlight?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to obviously everybody in HBM. You guys did awesome tonight. Special shout out to Fruby for joining us and putting his musket down people's throats. That always helps. And everybody in the Covenant faction for coming to Brimstone, doing town boards, and keeping Brimstone alive. Actually, everybody in the server, not just Covenant.
I see tomorrow night that there's going to be 5 fights. Surely you're going to be involved at least one of those. Is there anything you might be able to reveal to us now about your strategies?
Yep, so we're taking a dual-pronged stab at 2 middle territories. We're going to be going after both Everfall and Windsward in the same night. Hopefully it goes well. We're going to be seeing PvP Dodgers again, so chance to defend against us like we just defended against them.
Has there been decided any types of fee associated with using the bathhouse, or has it been determined the total maximum occupancy for the bathhouse in accordance with the fire marshal?
There will be no fee to get into the bathhouse. It's free for everyone to come inside. The only occupancy limit is however close you want to get to somebody else. So it should be shoulder to shoulder. We'll enjoy the bath water. The water's flown in. It's clean. There's nothing wrong with having a bath with your fellow buddy. Come on in.
All right, one final question, if you please. Soon, the second harshest winter in Eternum's history may be upon us. Do you have any plans to shelter in place over the winter months?
Brimstone Sands is the land of eternal summer. If anyone wants to escape the winter months, just come up here. There's plenty of houses to buy, plenty of baths to be had, and lots of friends to be made.
Turning to the weather, and if you're just tuning in, the sun is continuing its record for consecutive days making an appearance. Good for you, sun. But once more after sunset, corruption forces will become emboldened and attempt invasions in both Cutlass Keys and Brightwood. 5 lineup submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it's cardboard. First up, the Covenant forces of Here Be Monsters assault the Vault of Nirvana for control of the financial reserves of Windsward. Here Be Monsters forces return to the financial capital of the island for another crack at overcoming the security forces around the vault. Never one to take an opponent lightly, Nirvana security tonight will be tight. But what outcome will arise from the clashing of these two great houses? Meanwhile, the Syndicate forces of Cutlass Keys Fan Club assail the Covenant forces of Order of Chaos for control of First Light and the flow of the spice. Launching an assault from the staging grounds in their own territory, the Cutlass Keys Fan Club seek to expand their empire and take full control of the southern peninsula. The Spice Lords of Order of Chaos have another conflict scheduled later in the night, but will that desire supersede their obligations to the citizens of First Light? After that, the Zealots of Order of Chaos attack the Marauders of CB4 for control of the primary oil reserves of Weaver's Fen. Successfully coordinating 50 people over the course of 3 hours will be difficult, but the Order of Chaos view the downtime between fights like a halftime. And you know what happens at halftimes? A surprise halftime performance by CB4. Tired or not, Gusto and the boys will show up to play. Later, the Covenant forces of Tropical X assault the Marauders of Camelot Dodgers for control of the medicinal hot springs of the resort destination of Ebonscale. The Crusaders of Tropical X return to rematch, hoping to resecure a trade route for the bounties being discovered by the Covenant in the north. The Camelot Dodgers have reinforced their position with timely arrangements with fellow marauding companies, but will roster restrictions inhibit their future success? In the nightcap, the Covenant forces of Here Be Monsters Healers Division challenge the Marauders of PvP Dodgers for their championship title and the right to rule over Everfall. In the yellow corner, hailing from the arid desert region, the Zealots of Here Be Monsters Healers Division come to convert the title of champ to the Spark. In the green corner, the bricklaying Freemasons of PvP Dodgers return to the ring with fists like stone to defend their title as heavyweight champions. We'll have the outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. Dynamic change in the history of Eternum last night as the Covenant forces strike back at the Marauders and retake the Central Corridor. We caught up with the new venture capitalists of Windsward to get their reactions to the outcome.
Well, congratulations on your victory here in Windsward. From first flare to flag drop, you're done in 15 minutes. Usually this kind of fight would take all night for you two. Care to take us through how you saw it going down?
Oh yeah, really I think the biggest shift there is we got a really good drop on them at the A gate, man, and then we just stampeded the respawns and we wiped them twice on respawn and we completely overwhelmed them on that last flag. It's unfortunate they got caught on respawn and we just took advantage of that, and I think that's really what made the war there. That was a big difference.
Indeed. If you get caught on your back feet, sometimes there's no recovering. Is there anybody out there whose efforts you might want to highlight?
Oh yeah, 100%. Hex Scotty did a great job calling, and also between all of our group leads, they did really good communicating. And a shout out to Nirvana even too. Like those guys, it's really good fighting those guys. So big shout out to Nirvana. These guys are super dope.
Is there, I know you got to get going to the next briefing for the next fight, but is there any intentions for Windsward now that you have control of the hamlet?
Really, I mean, just like we all know it's the financial capital of the island, and we plan to make big money moves here in the future. Just look forward to that. maybe some prize pools and tournaments in the future. Who knows?
While covering the early events, KOTT News were able to secure an interview with Order of Chaos leadership who were fighting simultaneously.
Congratulations on your victory here today. It did take the entire 30 minutes. Do you feel that they gave it their all tonight?
Oh, most definitely. I think both sides really poured into it, but I think on our side, at least, everybody came together. Lord, our governor, and me as the one settler of the company, I think we all give it 110%.
I agree. Is there anybody whose efforts out there you might want to highlight tonight?
You know, we had some people reach across the factions and help us out today. I'd like to help shout out to the Dodgers that actually helped us out today.
Returning to our top stories, KOTT News were able to speak with the new heavyweight champions of Eternum after their early round knockout in Everfall. Congratulations tonight. Big night for the Covenant, taking 2 territories, not the least of which the new heavyweight champions of Eternum, Here Be Monsters. Congratulations on your victory here. How do you think it went out there?
Yeah, the HBM healer division really showed out tonight, but we really want to thank Dodgers for warring with us. They're great opponents. We've had a lot of fun tonight, and we'd like to continue that throughout the server.
Indeed. Is there anybody whose performance out there you might want to highlight?
Not anyone in particular. I think it was really a group effort tonight. All the healers, especially.
Well, is there anything else you might like to say to the citizens of Eternum? Do you have any events ongoing or coming up that you might want to inform them about?
I just subbed to JChalant on YouTube. Just gonna throw that out there.
Cheers. In other outcomes, a late period injury to a member of CB4 opened up a press pass slot in Weaver's Fin last night. After reporting live from the Fin, KOTT was able to get a more detailed report about the injury. Congratulations on your victory here in Weaver's Fin, holding the Peat Moss Bog yet again. However, an injury report from the locker room. Can you give us an update on that high ankle sprain?
Yeah, it's actually pretty bad. It was our healer for our group, Grills. His life staff actually broke mid-war, so we had to, swap him out.
Oh my gosh. Well, I appreciate the opportunity, the spontaneous press pass to get in there and see what was going on. The forces of Order of Chaos clearly exhausted from their previous battle earlier in the evening. How do you feel it looked to you?
I really like that they spotted a lot of company. I respect that. We tried to do the same. Just out there getting our RP on, We just out-RP'd them this time.
No word from the forces of Camelot Dodgers after their successful defense of Ebonscale, but they are a quiet group of people who will be back with ruthless intent. Looking at the weather, and once the undisputed champion of Crossing the Sky gets done getting it done once again, look out for an early evening invasion east, with northern cold fronts driving further corruption forces west into the desert. 2 more lineups submitted for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. Up first, it's the Syndicate forces of the Country Club, assailing the Marauders of Nirvana for control of the master fishing port town of Reekwater. The relative newcomers of the Country Club make a tactical decision to strike at the regrouping forces of Nirvana. But will they catch them off guard? Nirvana forces may be adjusting to the new rules of armed conflict, but when they're backed into a corner, they're sure to give it their all. Later, the Covenant forces of Eviction Notice assault the Marauders of Fort Patrol for Crown and Kingdom of the Western Monarch's Bluff. Marching up to the Western Bluff, Eviction Notice has been served on the reigning rulers of the kingdom, but they may need to use force to get them out. However, patrolling the fort, the Marauders of Fort Patrol will be standing by, ready, willing, and able to respond to any sheriffs attempting to overthrow the monarchy. Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night, as the Marauders of the island managed to maintain the murky waters and the monarchy. KOTT News were on the scene immediately following the Reekwater fight, but no payouts nor representatives of the civic leaders could be found. Later at the Bluff, Dodgers leadership took the time to pay out their mercenaries,
but could not grant an interview due to dinner reservations, understandably. Free time gave KOTT News an opportunity to meet a new refugee to the island. Be on the lookout for this up-and-coming traveling musician. Turning to the weather, and as I live and breathe, it's the sun showing up once again, keeping the corruption at bay. But look out after sundown, when those northern cold fronts will descend from the mountains, bringing a 30% chance of invasion with them. Yet another submission for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it's cardboard. Tonight, the Marauders of Jolly Rogers attack the Covenant forces of Eviction Notice for control of the bear-infested deep forests of Brightwood. The Pirates of Jolly Rogers seek to set up shop in the woods and steal regional leadership from the Covenant. But do they plan to give it to the poor? It appears the Covenant have completed their commune with the spirits of the forest as winter approaches. But now they're making sure nobody sets up camp near the hibernators. We'll have the outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night as the forces of Eviction Notice prevent the plundering pirates of Jolly Rogers from setting up camp in the woods. A knee injury sidelined one of the team captains, but they were able to watch the fight from the fort.
It was fine. I was watching one of my company mates stream the war for me. So I got back into the war like around 18 minutes into the war, and I didn't want to replace whoever replaced me because it looked like they were having fun. GG's to whoever pushed this. Jolly Rogers, there you go. GG's to them. They put a fight. They took A and B.
Turning to the weather, and today might just be the day when the sun fails to complete its journey across the sky. But who are we kidding? The only difference today is where the 30% chance of invasion will arise around the coastlines. Another submission for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it is cardboard. Tonight, the Marauders of CB4 assail the Covenant forces of Order of Chaos for control of First Light and the flow of the spice. Gusto and the boys throw a surprise concert down on the beach, but what mischievous roleplay are they getting into, seeking to sack the spice? The zealous spice lords of Order of Chaos provide the surrounding Covenant-controlled areas with their flow of hyssop, so they may bring in some holy rollers. We'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.